They say that when two nations are fighting, the people who really get hurt are the citizens. When two bulls are fighting also, they say, what really gets hurt is the grass, you know. Those people in power don't really feel the heat. Those who feel the heat are those people on the actual ground, you know. These leaders might cause all the fights. These leaders might take us somewhere and fight for them and all this. Some of them are just here to safeguard their ego. So you who is being called to fight for someone else, or rather you who is going to fight a war that you don't understand, you who is angry with your neighbor because someone told you to be angry at them, should be careful, you know. I'm saying this because Vladmir Putin air defense system just shot down a civilian plane.
As Russian President Vladimir Putin has now apologized to his counterpart in Azerbaijan for what he called a, quote, tragic incident following the crash of an airliner over in Kazakhstan that killed 38 people, but he stopped short of acknowledging that Moscow was responsible. Putin's apology came as allegations mount that the plane had been shot down by Russian air defenses attempting to deflect a Ukrainian drone strike near Grozny, that is the regional capital there. An official Kremlin statement issued Saturday said that air defense systems were firing near Grozny airport as the airliner, quote, repeatedly attempted to land there on Wednesday. It did not explicitly say one of these hit the plane. The statement said Putin apologized to the Azerbaijan president, quote, for the fact that the tragic incident occurred in Russian airspace. The readout said Russia has launched a criminal probe into the incident, and the Azerbaijan state prosecutors have arrived in Grozny to take part. The Kremlin also said that, quote, relevant services from Russia, Azerbaijan, and Kazakhstan are jointly investigating the crash site near the city there in Kazakhstan where it did crash. Again, you can see the video on your screen. The plane was apparently flying from the Azerbaijan capital of Baku over to Grozny when it turned toward Kazakhstan, hundreds of miles across the Caspian Sea from its intended destination, and crashed while making an attempt to land. There were a total of 29 survivors, according to officials there. According to a readout of the call provided by the press office, the Azerbaijan president told Putin that the plane was subject to, quote, external physical and technical interference, although he also stopped short of blaming Russian air defenses. The readout there coming from the press office did say that the plane had multiple holes in its fuselage and that the occupants had sustained injuries, quote, due to foreign particles penetrating the cabin mid-flight.
A civilian plane with over 60 people on board. Just imagine, a civilian plane is not a warplane. It's not a drone. It's not a jet. It's nothing. It's just a civilian plane. It means no harm. The air defense system has taken it down. It's a Russian air defense system. So this train was going to Azerbaijan, you know. I think it left Tajikistan or Turkmenistan going to Azerbaijan. It crashed. It was shot down and it died. It crashed. Almost half of the occupants died instantly. And 29 were rescued. These people are also able to show their testimony. My message is, why do you fight when you don't understand sometimes what you're fighting? Before even we continue, I want us to watch these guys. This is very sad. I'm so much saddened today with this news.
And Russia's president has apologized to the president of Azerbaijan for an incident in Russian airspace involving an Azerbaijan Airlines passenger plane, which crashed on Wednesday. 38 people died when that plane, destined for Grozny in Russia, came down in neighboring Kazakhstan. Earlier, the US said it had indications that Russian air defense systems were responsible for downing the plane. Let's go to Dorsa Jabari, who's standing by for us in Moscow. So, Dorsa, just tell us more about what we're hearing from the Kremlin.
Well, according to a readout of the phone conversation that took place between Russian President Vladimir Putin and the president of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, the conversation surrounded the Russian president first saying that he was apologizing for the fact that this incident happened over Russian airspace.
You, after watching this, what comes into your mind? Do you still hate your neighbor because your leader told you to hate on them? Do you still angry with one another for no reason at all? You see, most of these wars we fight them on the interest of our leaders. We fight them on the interest of other people who don't really care, and they don't even know us. Even if they wanted, they have no capability of knowing everyone. Human knowledge is limited. You can't blame them for that. It's God who made us that way. However, what saddens me is civilians getting involved and being killed. Vladmir Putin has just apologized. Yeah, he has sent apologies to the president of Azerbaijan, and he's told him that he's apologized. We are not given the right statements. But the people of this is following after this. He does this after following some criticism about him drowning that plane. You know, these air defense systems are always there to ensure that enemy plane do not penetrate. Maybe it confused the civilian plane for a military plane. Maybe the system was just corrupted. Maybe it was taken down deliberately. But again, if we judge the chicken, we should also judge the fox. Maybe it is the chicken who went straight to the mouth of the fox. Yeah, sometimes the chicken went straight to the mouth of the fox and we are busy judging the fox. It's the nature of the fox to bite. Yep, to eat chicken. That's the nature. We can't say it's doing wrong. You know, if God built you with a particular nature, like the snake will always bite anything that it comes across. It's their nature. And once we understand this, we know things. It is the nature of war zones for us not to go over there. It is the nature of, if you see a diversion in the road, don't follow that path. Follow the one you're being told to. You know, if the pilot knew very well that this is a war zone, he shouldn't have passed through that place. Passing through that place meant his life is at risk, the occupants of that flight is at risk, and the plane itself is at risk of damage. So sad. 2 plane crashes in a single day, and it's on the 29th. People are planning to have the end of the year. People are planning to see that year. People's life have just been cut short like that. I'm so much saddened. And this, remember, if you travel, put God first. Doesn't matter how far, doesn't matter how near, put God first. Yeah. See you in the next one.